各位听众朋友早安，在今天4月份的第4个礼拜天的早上，我是潘明拉，我们很高兴又回到现场。今天的现场非常的热闹啊！我今天邀请了有远从国外回来的，有远从台中上来接受专访的，还有是专门为了我们这个节目从美国到来的来宾。那么我们今天节目真的是非常的丰富，欢迎听众朋友收听。在节目开始之前那我们有一则这个活动要跟各位朋友预告一下，就是自从去年起延烧的这个金融风暴由印尼、马来西亚、泰国、韩国乃至于我国日本无不受到波及，那么中国大陆也不例外，所以两岸的经贸交流呢也受此影响。新党身为国内的第3大党，对于两岸经济政策要提出自己的主张，所以我们举办了一系列的座谈会，希望呢能够整合这个外界学者专家的观点，拟定适合当今环境的大陆经济政策。这个活动是主持人呢是周阳山，也就是新党的全国竞选及发展委员会的召集人，以及陈癸淼以及赖世宝。那么主讲人是袁台龙他是龙博法律事务所的律师，大陆律师考试及格。评论人是于德培，是东吴大学经济系教授，以及汤明哲台大国际所的教授。那么这个活动是今天一整天的活动，那活动时间是从早上10点钟到11点半，11点半到下午1点是休息，下午1点半呢是有第2个主题是台商所需的配套措施，银行、律师、会计师、企管以及仲裁等等。那么在下午还有另外一个专题呢，是在下午3点20到下午4点50，它的这个主题是整体评估我国政府的大陆经济政策。这个会议的地点是在台北市信义路5段1号，那边的联络电话是27232535，27232535，也就是台北国际会议中心401会议室。那么这个主办单位是新党全国竞选及发展委员会、新党大陆事务委员会以及新党中小企业委员会所主办的。有兴趣的听众朋友，你可以打电话到27232535，台北国际会议中心401会议室。好，我们现在呢就要欢迎今天的来宾出场喽。各位听众朋友，我们今天介绍的来宾呢，就是从美国的密西根州到台湾来接受我们 新党之音 Hello Sunday 的专访。那么由我刚才放的这个欢迎他进场的音乐，你可以知道他一定是一位男士，因为我放的是欧高兄啊。Are you ready？ 他是昨天才刚现学的一句中文啊。Say something to my audience, please.
你好，我是易威廉。
他的这个中文名字叫易维廉啊，他是William Healy， 他是从美国的密西根州到台湾来接受我们这个专访。这个专访我们最早安排的是在1月22号。我之所以会认得他呢，是因为在这个他跟我介绍了就是有一个网站叫做 Presidential Classroom。那这个美国的这个总统教室的这个网站呢，我去看了之后，我觉得非常的有意思，所以后来呢，也透过他的介绍那目前在台湾的这个新党的这个国际事务委员会的这个高慧瑜委员那他预计呢要筹组一个。让我们台湾的青年学生到美国，在暑假的时候，今年暑假7月5号到7月12号，他筹组了一个 ROC 的 Delegation， 要带我们年轻的这个学子们要去美国的白宫Washington DC 的这个 Georgetown University 去上这1个礼拜的课程。那么这所有的活动呢，就是当初这一位易维廉先生介绍的。那么我们今天在节目中一样，我可能要用英文来做这个采访。那么我们就想请教他他是怎么样跟这个 Presidential Classroom 在一起工作？因为我知道他是一个义工就是帮这个 Presidential Classroom 在过去的5年来，他每年在这个他的这个公务之余他会拨出时间到那个地方去参加那个课程，那去当他们的这个指导员带领学生那个做活动。First thing I want to ask is, why did you work for the Presidential Classroom, Bill?
It goes back many years. Ever since I was young, I've had a great interest in politics, government, and international relations. I carried on through high school and university with studies in social sciences and political science. Between my third and fourth year in university, I did a 4-month internship in Washington, D.C. for one of the top congressmen in the U.S., and it was the best educational experience I ever had. 4 months of experience living in Washington, getting to know the government was the greatest educational experience that I had. A few years later, after university, I learned that the congressman I worked for was an advisor for the Presidential Classroom. And it was through his involvement that I became involved with Presidential Classroom as an instructor. My interest in international politics, in American politics and government, has always existed, and I want to continue to foster that. And I also wanted to assist others with the same interest in American government in learning more about it with hands-on experience within Washington.
OK， 刚才的易维廉先生他给我们介绍事实上在他念书的时候，他有机会去参加这一类的课程，而且他本身对于这个政治以及外交事务，他有很大的这个兴趣所以我在这里我就有一个感觉，就是说事实上在现行的我们的这个教育里面如果我们能够让我们的学生对于课业压力之外的其他的这个事情，在早期的时候，特别是在念书的时候有一定程度的这个涉猎，或者是有这样的机会去做这个学习的时候，也许会影响到他的未来How did you think about the presidential classroom? I mean that as a volunteer worker working for the presidential classroom, especially to be with the students who joined the programs. What do you think about the programs of the presidential classroom?
I think it's a fabulous program. As an educational experience, it's one of the best, if not the best, experience and opportunities that the high school student and university student has. With visits and seminars and with key government people in America, with embassies, ambassadors, people who are in the press, journalists, everybody who's experienced with Washington from every level comes in and speaks to the group, and it gives an insight into Washington, into American government, and how we deal with the world. much more than a student can learn at the university in 1 year. I believe it's a very good experience.
OK， 刚刚 Bill 他在跟我们介绍的是 Presidential Classroom， 就是亲自带学生到美国的白宫去学习美国的政治和外交事务的一个课程，它的公共政策是怎么样制定的。那么它的这个政治圈里面包括了美国的政府、它的议会啊、它的实际的运作的情形。那么这个其实跟我们现行的教育的设计有一点关系，就是说当我们在教育体系里面没有办法提供这样的一个学习的方式或者是一个学习的课程的时候，我们也许要透过其他的管道啊，来帮助我们的孩子或者是帮助我们的学生能够有另外一种学习的机会。I know that the presidential classroom has another package for the students who's coming from other countries. Is that right?
Yes, it's the Future World Leaders Summit.
OK， 那我的了解就是这个总统教室他们有设计一种课程是给其他的外国学生参与的。那他刚刚说这叫做 Future World Leaders Summit， 就是世界未来领袖高峰会议。Can you tell us about what's the Future World Leaders Summit for? I mean that what is the detailed package for that course?
Okay, it's the Presidential Classroom is a 30-year program. It's in its 30th year. The Future World Leaders Summit is in its second year, and it's designed to bring students from many countries around the world to learn about the American government and how we interact with the world. It also has visits to the embassies, to the national embassy of each country that you're involved with, but also it allows the students of each country to bring ideas and information from their country to the classroom all together. So there's a way of mixing with students from other countries, from many other countries, also to work with trade issues and other international political issues, and hearing seminars and working with the instructors in that way.
他说这个美国总统教室啊是一个开始了30年的课程啊。那么这个在过去的30年里面呢，他们也仅仅从这个前年开始才设计一个课程是给世界其他的国家的学生参与的，就是叫做世界未来领袖高峰会议。那么这个课程里面的设计呢，是可以透过他们的这个课程可以让这个参与的学员可以学到就是一些这个政治和国际事务以及外交上面的议题啊。那这些这个议题的课程不是单纯的只有透过分组讨论或者是活动做学习，它甚至还带你到这个驻美的各国当地的这个大使馆啊，甚至到美国的白宫、美国的这个国会山庄啊，以及到这个当地的著名的这个博物馆去做这个参观和学习的课程。所以听起来好像跟我们一般所了解到的所谓的一般的暑期进修或者是短期的学习课程，它在内容和它的这个品质上好像是不太一样，因为它特别是运用了美国当地的政坛上的一些政治资源在里面。所以也就是说我很想问他的是Who are the major members who apply for this package? I mean for the presidential classroom, and who are the students who apply for the Future World Leaders Summit, Bill?
Generally, they're the top high school students at the top at the high schools from countries all around the world. We have students from high schools in America, Canada, Puerto Rico, Switzerland, just many countries around the world. They're in the top 5 to 10% of their class, and they generally have interests in politics and government and even international business. So they are really the top students coming out of their high schools.
我刚问他说的是，就是在这样的一个世界未来领袖高峰会议，甚至是一般的这个美国总统教室里面的学生啊，那到底是谁来做申请？他说，通常都是那个在他们的学校里是顶尖的学生，他的这个学业成绩都是很优秀的啊。那么也唯有这样的学生才有机会能够这个申请到去参加这样的课程。And I would like to ask you that as an instructor working for the presidential classroom, what is your observations what did they really learn from the package?
They've learned many things from the package. It gives them first an ability to speak with the top legislators, with embassy personnel, with ambassadors. So it gives them confidence that they have access to these people, and just gaining that access is one of the greatest things I've seen these people have, these students achieve. Also, with these students, something that they're not aware of when they first come into the program, but they gain is a sphere of friends, a group of friends from around the world. It's never too early to really start building your group of friends that you can call on in future years from around the world. So it gives them access to a new group of friends. Also, just more in depth about government. You can learn from books on the structure of American government and how we deal with the people. But it's till you hear from the reporters, hear from the government personnel, that you actually know that there's much more to American and international politics beyond just the book learning.
我刚问他说的是，就是去参加的这个学员，以他做这个义务的这个指导员的这样的一个经验里面啊，那在他过去的经验里，他的观察就是参加过这样的一个总统教室里的课程的学员，他到底能从这样的一个课程里学到什么呢？他说是自信，就说以一般的这个学生来讲哈，你很难得有机会跟政治人物面对面啊，特别是这个提升到这个驻外的这个使节啊，使馆里的这个大使级，甚至是这个国会议员以及美国这个当地政坛的知名人士，你很难得有机会跟他们面对面。那么他认为参加这样的一个课程之后，可以帮助学生啊，在他这样的一个年轻的岁月里，就能够累积他的一个自信。那么也透过这样的一个学习课程呢，扩大一个视野，就是你不单单只是生活在你学校的这个生活圈里面，你甚至还可以跟这个世界各地啊，来自世界各地或来自美国各地的一些所谓的这个精英啊，因为你要透过这个申请的话，你必须要有跨过一定的门槛啊，你的学业成绩有一定的门槛，你过去的这个优良的这个课外活动的表现跨过这个门槛，他们才会这个批准你去参加这样的一个课程。所以在他作为一个这个随班或者随团的这个指导员的这个身份的话，他的观察是他觉得学生可以扩大视野，可以学到一些这个课本里面所没有的这个知识啊。As you know that the presidential classroom is coming to Taiwan, and they want to recruit some of the students to join the package, the Future World Leaders package this summer to Washington, D.C. What do you think about what will they have to prepare for that program, if anyone who is interested in that package?
I believe that preparation for this will be a basic understanding of what American government is about, but also an understanding of what the government here in Taipei is all about, because it will be also comparative between governments, a discussion of how governments interact, how cultures interact. So it's a program where you really need to know something about the American government and international government as well.
How will they learn? Will it be easily to get the information from the website?
Yes, the presidential classroom does have a website that has a good amount of information on there on how to apply and what to be prepared for. Booklets are provided in advance where you can study and learn about the program, what speakers will be there, what government officials you'll be seeing, and you can get enough information off the website, yes.
我刚刚有问他，就是说，如果是有兴趣要参加这个 Presidential Classroom， 在今年夏天啊，就是7月5号到7月12号的这个世界未来领袖高峰会议的话，那么这一些想要去参加的这个学员的话，他要事前做什么样的准备？他说，你必须要先了解美国的政府啊，以及他们的这个美国政府的这个运作。那我就问他说，那他们要怎么样去得知啊这样的一个讯息呢？他说，你可以透过那个他的这个网站啊，就是美国总统教室，它有一个网站 ，the website is located at HTTP 啊，它的这个网址呢是 http://www.presidential classroom， 这是一个很长的字，就是总统教室的英文，整个连在一起 presidential classroom presidentialclassroom.org， 它是一个组织啊。我再念一次，它的这个网址是 http://www.presidentialclassroom.org， 你可以上它这个网站上去询问。它也有一个这个电子邮件啊，它的这个 email 的 address 是 prezclass@aol.com。也许这个听众朋友有兴趣的话呢，也可以跟这个新党的这个立委啊高惠瑜委员的办公室联络。我们待会儿呢还会在12点半的这个时段访问到 Presidential Classroom 的这个 Executive Director， 他这次有应这个行政院青辅会的邀请来台湾开一个会议啊。那我们待会儿也会在12点半的时候邀请他到这个我们新党之音的现场 Hello Sunday 的现场呢来做一段专访。Okay, Bill, after 5 years working for the presidential classroom, what did you learn from the package? I mean that as a volunteer worker is not going to, the only thing is not going to give. What did you get from the, I know it's not any money involved, but what did you really learn from the package?
I learned that I'm still learning. After many years of studying American government and international government, I learned that it's a continual process. Policies in America, policies worldwide continue to change daily. And just being involved every year with this program, I stay involved so that I know how it's changing and I can personally how American politics and international politics are changing.
我刚问他说，作为一个义工的话，就是你不单单只是给，事实上你还有获得什么？那我就说我知道，作为一个义工的话，你是没有钱可以赚的啊。那我就问他说，那他可以获得什么？他说他还在学习，从每一次的透过他的课程里呢，作为一个义工，他也在学习，知道美国的这个公共政策的制定啊，还有这个整个的美国的政治的运作。所以我觉得这非常有意思。也就是说，你去参加这样的课程也好，或者是你作为一个支持者也好，或者呢，你是作为一个这个跟他一起工作的义工也好，事实上你都透过每一个这个会议的机会，或者是这个学习的机会啊，去继续的增加你原来你所没有学过的一个面向。那么我们待会儿在这个12点到12点半的这个 Hello Sunday 的节目呢，我们今天会邀请到3位10大义工妈妈的得主啊，是邦嘎阿嬷、葛妈妈以及武则天。我们会透过电话连线的方式来采访到他们。我们想问问这个作为第1届10大义工妈妈的得主啊，他们是用什么样的心情在做义工的？所以我们今天非常的高兴啊，在 Hello Sunday 第1个小时的这个半个钟头的这个专访里面访问到美国的一位义工，他是替美国总统教室做这个义工的一位朋友啊 ，Bill Healy 到现场来跟听众朋友分享什么是美国总统教室。I have to say that it is a great honor that we have you in our studio to have the live interview, which we should have in on the 22nd of January. We planned.
Yes, and it's a pleasure to be here finally.
How do you think about the interview? It's short, but it's What do you think about it?
I think it's valuable just to bring this information to to Taiwan, and I think you're going to get a lot of good information a bit later with Jay when he's in.
我刚问他说，这个实在是很高兴邀请他到节目中来做这个现场的专访啊。那这个飞了大老远到台湾来，那他又替我们这个 Hello Sunday 的节目做了一次的义工。他说他也很开心哦，把这个 Presidential Classroom 介绍到台湾来。那么他说在待会儿晚一点的时候呢，就是在12点半的时候，我们会访问到 Presidential Classroom 的 Executive Director 啊，Jay Wycliffe。他会从圆山饭店的这个会议的这个现场赶到我们新党之音的现场来接受访问啊。那他特别呢要跟大家谈的就是他对于台湾的一些这个学生的邀请大家去参加 Future World Leaders Summit。那么这个活动呢，目前在台湾是由新党的立委高惠瑜委员啊，他在做主办的工作。我们待会儿也会透过电话连线访问到高委员。好，我们现在稍作休息，我们就要进行我们下一个半个小时的专访。我们下一个小时呢是访问到一个我的好朋友啊，冯道中。那么他特别今天从台中上来就接受我们的专访，他是一个专业的领队啊。那么他在雄狮旅行社工作，那么也是观光这个领队的会员。那么他今天要跟我们介绍什么？介绍欧洲。所以我们待会儿再回到现场。谢谢 ，Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Yeah.